Hi, welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today in this classic review, we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe, a real American hero, bridge layer. And yes, if anyone is just watching this and they didn't watch the Toll Booth video, this is my original. And you may ask, how do you know it's your original? Well, you see that green spray paint? For some odd, stupid reason, I felt that I should hit it with a bit of spray paint as a kid. I have no idea why. I can't remember. But anyway, we're going to take a look at this. Look at all the details. In all honesty, there's really not much to this. You have the bridge, obviously. You have the two cannons. And then you have where the figures sit. You also have 40-year-old dirt. I've tried cleaning this numerous times. So this is probably going to be one of the dirtier vehicles reviews that I take a look at. I think you guys can understand. It's not as filthy as some of the vehicles that I saw at Joe Fest when you're kind of scrolling through them like, man, why don't you at least rinse these things down? But anyway, we're going to get into this. Tell me a story. Is this something that you had? I really don't feel like this was something essential. I don't think this was something that everyone had. Because without other vehicles, it was actually kind of useless. Because even though it's armored, it wasn't a lot of fun, to be honest. The bridge was always fun, but you had to find something to go over. So anyway, we're going to take a look at this, get into it, but let's not waste any more time. Before we do, if you like this type of content, you like what I'm giving you, love these classic reviews, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classic review. Alright, so here we have our bridge layer, my childhood bridge layer, as I mentioned. There is the green, and again, this thing is worn. I probably should replace it, but there's something special about having some of your original stuff. So, quickly, we're going to take a look at how this thing actually works. And in all actuality, a bridge layer is something that is real. So, what's actually supposed to happen is this is supposed to lift up, and when it does, it's going to lift up this way. And then as it comes down, it's supposed to open up to create your bridge. This here you squeeze together and it will come off. Now, over time, this thing will start to get loose. I guess it could probably also crack. This starts to get loose, so this piece does come off and off a lot. And then it actually locks right back up, and we'll look at that later. So, looking at the bridge here, you kind of see how it's actually designed. It just holds, and it will hold a vehicle. So if you have if you don't put a heavy vehicle or just go end to end, it shouldn't just pop off. But these are just like little balls right here that pop right into here. So, but looking at the detail on it, all right, you can see it's kind of the diamond treading. So obviously it's not as easy for it to slip off. A little bit of a railing here, just so you know if your tire hits it. Down the middle, you don't have to worry about it, probably where they can walk through. You have the nice rivets right there, and this is where it's going to plug in. Now what's cool and smart is that this is just pretty much the same design, all right, where actually they are the exact same, now that I'm thinking about it, because what you have is this piece here, there's the ball, and here's the socket, and on the other side, the ball is right here and the socket's over here. Alright, but you have all this nice design, and then there were some stickers. On the inside, there's really nothing to look at, but that's not what we're going to be looking at when it's folded up like so. As for the bridge layer itself, let's get this guy out, which was given to me by somebody quite some time ago. I've never had a fridge, believe it or not. Another thing that I really did not care too much about. All right, so looking at this, over time my guns have gotten super loose. This one's actually not all that bad. This one here just kind of rotates there. All right, so you have the mechanics here, and this just squeezes together like I said. But when you look at the design, all right, so this looks really good. It's just showing the mechanics. You have what's supposed to be hydraulics right there. And when it opens up completely, you can see the fan underneath it. It's probably supposed to cool it down. There's the hydraulics that are actually going to run this the way you would hope that it's supposed to, right? And then under here, there's nothing designed there. Right here, you see what the other mechanics, another hydraulic. Matter of fact, this almost looks like it's supposed to be these pieces right here. Like this is supposed to go up and support it, yet they use this. All right. Now, when you do close that, it does stay closed. So they did make it so internally right here, it plugs in and actually has a little bit of usages to it. All right. So are you looking at the hydraulics here? It runs all the way across. There used to be a sticker here. Even the seats, you can kind of see that there is some seating right over there. 4 fans, I believe, just generating back here. And then right underneath there is where you're going to have an engine. I don't have there's no engine covers, I don't believe, anywhere on this. All right, I'm going to pop this off right now. Here you have a couple of different panelings, which is also the armor. So supposedly I would assume you could take that off and store different utensils or different tools underneath it, like sledgehammer. You have your armor on the side, and you can see the design, same as a regular tank. And you're going all the way over here. Again, I'm just assuming that all this is supposed to be for storage. All right, and then again, just giving you a little bit of designs right here. Up here, the same thing. And this is where they're going to plug it directly into it. On the back, it does have a hitch, so you can tow it, because let's be honest, you need to. You also have your brake lights right there. As you look here, here are your treads, and looking at them, you can see the rivets that are holding it together. You got the wheel that's actually probably going to be turning it. These two wheels, these wheels may be turning it. This one has to rotate it. And then you have your treads going all the way down just to make some sort of design. So it does look nice. Again, you're not really looking at the side, and because it's so dark, you didn't really notice. On the bottom, there's no design at all, although the treads are still there. And it does have 4 individual wheels. So before you ask, no, they are not real treads. You can just roll it across, as let's be honest, you should. As for the double-barreled guns, double-barreled lasers, this is weird because I thought G.I. Joe was the military, but double-barreled laser seems kind of odd. Now, they do not move up and down, which is no big deal. That was back in the 80s, and hell, there are still some companies that don't make their weapons elevate. But when you look at it, it has like a laser cannon on the front. This looks like maybe it's a regular cannon, but I don't know where you keep the ammunition. Here, it does look like they are supposed to elevate up, all right, which would be really good when you don't have the bridge on it. I don't think you want to shoot up when you got the bridge. But the design cues are real nice there. You have another nice plate right there. You can see the rivets. So, all in all, it fits in there pretty good. And again, it is old, so this one is very worn. I need to probably put some tape around it, do something just to kind of make this a little bit wider so it stays on, but this thing doesn't really get moved all that much. As for putting this back on, I would always put it on an angle like so, and then it just twists right on. Really easy to get on, a little bit harder to get off. And then as for toll booth, again, you want them to sit down like so, and then we just slide them right on in there. And unfortunately, there's no place for the sledgehammer. Maybe this is one thing they missed. Maybe they could have put it on the back. And then we'll take our fridge, and we slide our fridge right in the back here. He's got some really loose legs. Just kind of bend it. Now we're going to roll this back over. The one thing I can always say is they were extremely covered from fire coming down on them. Especially you would assume that this bridge here is very sturdy, considering the last thing you probably want is this thing collapsing when your artillery is going over it. So there you go. That is my original bridge layer, the review on it. Alright, so there you have it. That is the classic review of the G.I. Joe bridge layer, or also known as toss and cross. I know I never called it the toss and cross. Again, this is my original. I know because the little paint that's on it, It's actually on the underside now, right? Maybe it isn't. Oh no, it's right there. Anyway, so got the fridge in there. But anyway, yeah, tell me if you had this. I don't think it was like the most essential vehicle to have, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people love this and they've said, hey, I have to have this. Maybe you lived where there was a lot of creeks around and you had to get over the streams or whatever. But tell me a little story. Did you have this? Was this one that you guys got? Maybe it was the only one that Grandma and Grandpa could find for you, so they got it and you absolutely fell in love with it. Or you hated it and you traded to some idiot that had a Mauler or a Mobat that thought this was cooler. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Please, if you like this type of stuff, you like these classic reviews, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classic review. Now, I know what you're saying. Hey, I did not see Toll Booth. And that's perfectly fine, because you know what you can do? Right up here is going to be the video for the review of Toll Booth, and down here is the playlist of all the classic reviews that I've done. Take care.